Dido. Dido. Hello. We're still here. We're still here on our bench. Nice weather. It's better than it's been all summer. It's really hot. I'm glad I've got my SPF on. Oh, you nearly got me in the face with that. I don't think you really did, but it just at the corner of my eye, it felt like it. We've just replayed the footage, and as suspected, the chucket was nowhere near my head. Even a head that size. I have a very big head. It's very heavy, isn't it?
Very heavy.
I struggle to hold it up sometimes.
It's a skinny neck.
When we would sit in our little studio together, I would say, "Oh no, I can't do it anymore. My head is so heavy." I'd have to hold my head on my hands. Ooh, look at that slug.
I know, it was right down here.
Was
I
it?
moved it, yeah, so I cleaned it over.
Well done. Dido's treading in it now.
I don't think it's going to make it. It's not gone. It's not moved.
I think it's dead.
It's only just died. I wonder if Dido found it.
It might be drying out.
Ooh, nice. Dried slug. Hopefully a bird will find it.
I don't really use pellets, so that'll be alright for a bird. Right, how are we looking then? That's better. Hello. Finally sat down in my lovely little room. I want to talk to you about my knitting. I've got lots of things I want to talk about, but I think I'm going to spread it out over Vlogtober so that in the title I can put what the name of the thing is that I'm showing you, so it's easy to find in the future. Because quite often if I video something, somebody might say, for example, this dress, "Oh, I really like your dress, where's it from?" And I can then say, "Oh, this is the Lily dress from Cosytober, and it's in this vlog," whatever. I can look up Tales from Cuckoo Land, Cosytober Lily dress, and there it will be. So that's what I'm going to do with my knitting. So what I'm going to show you is my girlfriend cardigan. Yeah, girlfriend's cardigan. Why am I saying it like that? Girlfriend's cardigan by Ankerstrick. Girlfriend's cardigan by Ankerstrick. And you'll be able to find that, just Google it. It calls for yarn slightly thicker than the yarn that I used. It's by Juniper Moon Farm. For God's sake. It's Harriet Fine by Juniper Moon Farm, and it's I can't tell you anything about it because I don't know. Where's the bleeding tag gone? I've really got myself in a muddle. Start again. I knitted it using this yarn, which is called Silver Birch, and it's Harriet Fine by Juniper Moon, and it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely, but I think this colour is really hard to get hold of now. It's finer than the yarn suggested in the pattern, but I had 3 balls of this yarn, so I wanted to use it. I needed to buy another ball, and I think I could have got away with just that one other ball, but I knitted the body much longer than I anticipated I was going to knit it. So if it wasn't for that, I would have been able to get away with 4 balls. I think I used 4 balls anyway. But do you know what? Everybody's gauge is different. So what I've knitted and how much I've used isn't necessarily going to translate for everybody else. It's just a guide. But here it is. I'm really very, very pleased with it. So as you can see, it's got I-cord details on the seams and on the arm going down. It was a really good and unusual construction. What you do is you knit your I-cord. Now I had to wing a lot of this because the I-cord, if I'd knitted the amount of stitches that they said, would only have been this big because of the yarn being that much finer. So I just guessed it, and I basically just held the I-cord, draped it across my shoulders, across my back, until it looked like it was roughly the right length, the length that it looked like it is on the photographs of the pattern and other people's knitted cardigans. And then that meant that, so you do some short rows at the back and then you knit the front armpit. So that meant that my armpit, once I'd done the rows that I was supposed to do, was this big, and I needed it to be that much longer. So I basically just guessed it. I just kept on knitting until I felt that it was a nice armhole length. And then the rest of it I followed to pattern, because it says something like, from the top, measure this amount down to put your pockets in. There is some short row shaping around the pockets. I can't remember if it's before or after. And then you do that cast on, cast off jobby, and then you pick up and you knit a little stocking stitch pocket. I feel like I could have possibly knitted my pockets a little bit longer, because I wanted this cardigan to replace my COVID cardigan, which is this one that I have been wearing non-stop. It's one of Toby's old ones, and it's in such disrepair. I will mend it because I love it so much. Look. But this isn't really, it's not going to really work as a replacement. For a start, the yarn's just too luxurious. I need something a little bit more robust, probably a BFL or something, I don't know. But that's not to say I'm not thrilled with this cardigan, because I really, really am. I really, really do love it. I'll just pop it on so you can see what it looks like. I don't know where I'm going to stand to twirl though. Okie dokes. Here we go. So yeah, I might knit the pockets a bit deeper so that I can get my hand in a bit more, because they land about there. So I've got all of that extra where I could knit it, and it's just so cozy and lovely and soft and just beautiful. I like the way the neck goes here, look. Can you see? I can't even feel where that, there it is, look. I think that's just nice. I did make a modification as well on the sleeves. The sleeves in the pattern tells you to knit in the round in garter stitch. So obviously if you're going in the round, one row has to be pearls and one row has to be knit, and otherwise you'd end up with stocking stitch. And it was a nuisance. But I did a whole arm like that, and I didn't do any of the decreases. For some reason I thought I wanted it to just be really big and poofy, but it didn't look great. And I was on my knit night Zoom, and the girls were really polite, but they did say, I think it might look a bit better with a tapered arm. So I took their advice and I unravelled it and I knitted it then with a tapered arm. But what I did was I knitted it flat so I could do garter stitch. So I picked up all the stitches around here, and then I added on a couple of extra ones at either end. And then I just knitted in garter stitch and reversed what the instructions were for doing the I-cord edge. So it's, or the fake seam. So it's worked out absolutely perfectly fine. And I zipped, stop it, Margot. Margot, 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 stop it. Ah. She's breakdancing. So I zoomed through the sleeves and the end, and I did a bind off slightly differently. I did the same bind off that I did for the Aldous sweater, because the Isabel Kramer Aldous, Aldous, because I liked the finish. So that's that. That is my cardigan. Whilst I'm showing you that, I wanted to show you these, because these are knit in the Juniper Moon Harriet Fine as well. These are, can't remember the name of the pattern, but it's a free pattern from Pearl Soho. I knitted them absolutely ages ago. Now the thing with this Juniper Moon farm is that it does have some nylon in it, so it is very strong for socks. I don't really like nylon in yarn, but if it does mean that I can have a pair of socks that will last for years and years and years, is that better than having socks with holes that I will throw away? I don't know. Haven't come to the conclusion. I haven't got enough, I haven't knitted enough socks in hardy wool, because I have been such a pig over the years, and I've bought so much merino cashmere nylon, or just merino nylon sock yarn. I've literally got a cupboard full of it. So anyway, I've gone off on a rabbit hole there. But the back of these socks have got this gorgeous cable. I love it. And they're really long, and they have increases so that they go up over your calf. Can you see the increases? One there, one there, one there. And I've got heavenly memories attached to these of knitting them sat with Kate in Eagle's Nest Chalet, and chatting and playing 80s music. So really lovely. I think that I did the cuff longer because I wanted to be able to fold it over, but not sure. That might have been part of the pattern. But that's what that yarn looks like knitted in stocking stitch, and it's got enough stitch definition to show up the cables really nicely. So there we go. I do very much like that yarn, and I very much like the sock pattern, and I very much like the Girlfriend's cardigan pattern. I can see another one of these in my future, but knitted in hardier wool. And actually, I wonder how it would look if it was knitted in stocking stitch. Although that would be a lot of purling. Not that I mind purling, but I am slower. But then I don't mind being slow either. So that, I think that's other people's opinions have rubbed off on me. Right, let's pop that up there because I've talked about this now. I am so tired. I fell asleep on the sofa. Toby went up earlier than me yesterday, and I fell asleep on the sofa. I woke up boiling hot. Normally you wake up cold on the sofa, don't you? I woke up boiling hot and unable to breathe, and I thought, I've got COVID. And I can't see. Everything was black. I was like, oh. And then I realised that Bunny was lying on me here, and she was pressing on my windpipe, and I couldn't see anything because I literally had her black body in front of my face. And I was boiling hot because Margot was on my tummy and Bunny was curled up on my chest. So I got up, put the dogs out, shut the house up, cleaned my teeth, washed my face, got into my pyjamas, I went to bed and then couldn't get to sleep. And then this morning I couldn't just lay in because Teddy's got a girlfriend. Yeah, he's at that age. And he said, can she come over today? She lives half an hour away. So I agreed that I'd pick her up and her mum will come and collect her a bit later. She's very sweet. She's really lovely, actually. He's doing all right, that boy. And they've gone off together down to the farm to get the cows in because she wants to be a farmer. They just chat and chat and chat and chat and giggle. It's just lovely. I remember when I used to go out with boys when I was their age, and you literally would walk around holding hands, not talking to one another, and then you might like have a little snog when you said goodbye. I had terrible troubles with my vlog. Did I say that already? Oh, getting it up. It wouldn't export from iMovie. So in the end, because I just didn't want to have to edit it all over again, because I tweaked everything, I wanted to, the majority of people, I would say 85–90% of people said the sound is absolutely perfect for them, but there were enough people that said I need to turn my volume up, so I thought I'll just tweak that a bit. So I tweaked that a bit, and then it wouldn't export, and it's a lot more work tweaking the volume up. You've got to, it adds another stage into every clip that you make. You have to add in another stage of editing before you can move into your next clip, which is fine. It's not an enormous amount of work, but on a lot of, say if it was a long podcast, it would be quite, if it was a long vlog, it would be quite a lot of additional time spent. I don't know what I'm saying all of this, but I didn't want to have to re-edit. I enjoy the editing process, but don't really like looking at myself and having to listen to myself over and over and over again. I really hate that. So I didn't want to redo it. So what I did was I screen recorded. I set my screen to record. Then I played the movie in iMovie, and then I uploaded the screen recording to YouTube. So I am really hoping that it's good enough quality. It won't be the best, won't be perfect. It probably will be quite quiet, this one. And the pitch quality will be fuzzy, but you won't be missing much because it wasn't an exciting day. Not a lot went on yesterday. Today's an exciting day because I'm casting on a DK sock, which is a test knit that I'm doing, and I was going to use this yarn for a hat, but it's the only DK sock yarn that I have, and the test knit deadline is looming and I'm late to start. But it's Beaches and Birdsong. Beaches and Birdsong, colour Pebbles. Don't think it's focusing. My phone used to focus with the front camera, but then there was an update and it stopped doing it. It's really annoying. Strictly tonight. Oh, if you're doing the Strictly Sock Along, last year the Strictly Sock Along had a charitable side to it, and Ali supported my son's special needs school with Bill's special bus, and Kelly Lay dyed the official colourway, and Jules did the official Strictly Sock Along pattern and donated money to Bill's bus from that, and so did Kelly. And Ali sold Strictly pins and she donated money from that. And I ran some raffles at the same sort of time whilst I was getting so much exposure from people with quite large accounts. And amazingly, we got Bill's bus in December. I never thought ever we were going to reach the goal, because I'd kind of done all right over 2-3 years, but I was still so far away. And then when those 3 girls got on board and gave it the push, it happened. Still gives me shivers. I think it's one of the things I'm most proud of in my life. And what's really funny is with the Strictly Sock Along, you are encouraged to cheat. So the idea is that you knit these socks whilst you're watching Strictly Come Dancing or Dancing with the Stars or any of the spin-off shows. But you can cheat. So let's say you were in the presence of a glitter ball, then you would be allowed to knit your Strictly socks. Or if you were reading one of Anton Dubek's books and you had it next to you, you could knit your Strictly socks. Or there's so many funny cheats. If you'd got the Strictly theme tune stuck in your mind, you could knit your Strictly socks. And Ali said to me last week, she said it's really funny because some people are using me as their Strictly cheat. So they're allowed to knit on their Strictly socks when they're watching my channel because of Bill's special bus last year. So I'm the cheat. I'm their cheat. How fun is that? How fun is that? Okay, I'm going to go. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, this is a bit of a long one.